ever stopped to think about who actually brings electricity into our lives? I mean, from our homes to our cities, there's this huge team of experts making it all happen. Today, we're going to meet them and explore the amazing world of electrical jobs. So, let's get started. Think about it. It's something we do every single day, right? You flip a switch and boom, the light just turns on. But how does that happen? Well, there's a whole team of people working behind the scenes to make that one simple action possible. Let's find out who they are. All right, so our journey starts at the very beginning, where the electricity is actually born. And that happens at a giant building called a power plant. This is step one in getting power all the way to you. And inside that power plant, we find our very first expert, the power plant operator. These are the folks who manage all the powerful machines that create our electricity. So you can kind of think of them as the captains of the power plant, right? They're constantly watching the machines, making sure everything is running smoothly and safely, and they help create the power we all use every single day. Okay, so the power is all made and ready to go. But wait, power plants can be super far away. So how on earth does that electricity travel all the way to your house? It's gonna need a pretty special delivery system. Well, that delivery system, it's those big power lines you see everywhere outside. These giant cables are like highways for electricity, carrying it all across the country. And, of course, there are special people who work on them. And the brave people who work on these lines are called electrical line workers, or a lot of people just call them linemen. Their office is basically the great outdoors. And yeah, they often work way up high in the air. And their job can be really challenging. They climb super tall poles to install new power lines. And most importantly, when a big storm hits and knocks out the power, they're the heroes who go out there to repair the broken lines and get everything working again for all of us. All right, so the electricity has traveled across the country. It's arrived in your town. Now what? We need someone to bring it safely inside your house, or your school, or the mall. And this is where we get to a really key difference. See, while a lineman works outside on those huge city power lines, our next expert, the electrician, works inside with all the wiring in our buildings. Yup, this is the electrician, and sometimes you'll hear them called an electrical installer. They're the ones who make sure electricity flows correctly and safely all through a building. They're the ones who put in your lights and the sockets in the wall where you plug in your phone or your computer. And if something goes wrong with the power in your house, they're the person you call to fix it and keep your home safe. Now, becoming an electrician isn't just a single job. It's more like a journey, a career path with a few different steps. You start out by learning, and you can eventually grow into a true expert. So first you start as an apprentice, where you learn everything from a master electrician. Then you move up to become a junior electrician, working as part of a team on different jobs. And finally, after a ton of experience, you can become a senior electrician, leading projects and even teaching the new apprentices yourself. Okay, so we've talked about the electricians who work in our homes, but there are actually a whole bunch of other special experts who work with electricity in all sorts of cool and different places. For example, ever had your TV or your washing machine just stop working? Well, that's where an electrical appliances repair comes in. This is the person who can look inside, find the electrical problem, and fix it. And get this, did you know a modern car can have over 1 kilometer of wires inside? That's crazy. An auto electrician is the specialist who understands how to fix all those electrical parts in a car, from the headlights to the engine controls. Now here's a really modern and super important job, the solar panels installer. These are the experts who put special panels on roofs that take energy from the sun and turn it right into electricity for the house. Pretty cool, huh? And what about big factories with those giant, huge machines? Well, that's a job for an industrial electrician. They specialize in the massive, super powerful electrical systems that are needed to run all that big equipment. It's a very specialized role. Okay, so let's recap. We've got people who make the power, people who move it across the country, and people who install it in our buildings. But hang on a minute. Who plans all this stuff in the first place? Exactly, right? Who actually designs all of this? Who draws the blueprints for all the wires? Who figures out how to build a new power plant or design the electrical system for a brand new hospital?
Well, that is the job of the electrical engineer. They are the designers, the planners, the big picture problem solvers of the electrical world. They use science and math to figure out how we can use electricity better and create new things.
So, for example, an engineer might draw up the entire electrical plan for a new skyscraper. They're the ones who solve really tricky problems, like how can we make our power grid more efficient? And they're also the ones creating the brand new electrical technology of the future. Wow, so from the power plant operator all the way to the electrical engineer, we've met so many incredible experts who really do keep our world running. So as we wrap this up, just think about it for a second. Which one of these important jobs sounds the most interesting to you?